here, or should I say Dr. Foe? I'm not sure if I should say that in like my intros or not. You know, you guys let me know. Do you think I should say, hi everyone, it's Dr. Foe? Let me know what you think. I mean, I did work hard for that title, but hey everyone. So in today's video, I want to talk about the curl party that I attended. I can't remember the specific date. Maybe like a week or two ago, I went to a curl party. It was amazing. It was hosted by Elaine of Yes Her Studio. She's a curl artist, as well as Latidra. I think hers is Unity Spa Salon. I believe that's the name. If that's not the correct name, then I will put the correct name down here on the screen. But the two of them hosted an amazing event in Atlanta where so many of us that practice a similar style of hair care got together and we talked about hair. We did amazing activities. It was so much fun. I finally got to the curl party. It was from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. on a Saturday. Once I got to the curl party, it was so nice to see everyone. I'm going to put some footage. Everybody had on these bright, beautiful colors. So many black women with their beautiful hair. And I'm going to tell you, seeing our hair on camera is nothing like seeing the hair in person. Everybody's hair looked so gorgeous in person. And I think the camera struggles to pick up on the movement that tight curls can have, the movement and the body and the beauty of texture. What's crazy with me researching Black women's hair perspectives and everything else, you know, I went down this rabbit hole of really in-depth history when it comes to the natural hair movement. And so I know that the curl party experience that I had now in 2023, I know that it parallels, or it has some similarity to the early natural hair movement, the early 2000s, where people were getting together and they were doing meetups and all these other things. And I didn't participate in those. I didn't know about them. I wasn't engaged in the natural hair community the way that I am now. I've been natural for a long time, but it never clicked. It never locked in to become a member of the community until I started to learn from Black Girl Curls and Hydra Bar Salon, and I joined those online communities like the Digital Salon, or with Hydra Bar, I joined their Facebook group when they had a Facebook group. And so I joined those communities, and it's like I finally found my people. And so to finally see my people in person, it was a beautiful thing. There were a lot of people at the event that were curl mixers. So there were a lot of people that use Curl Mix products and participate in the free master classes that Curl Mix has. And there were coaches there. I know Tammy was there, and Tammy is a Curl Mix coach. And so there were a lot of good people in the room. So let me get into the event. So the first thing that we did were speed consultations. So I had the opportunity to sit with different stylists. Everybody had the opportunity to sit with different stylists for 5 minutes at a time and ask questions that they've had for a while. And so my first question, I talked to Elaine, and I was like, mini twist. If I put my hair in mini twist, like small twist or 2-strand twist, and I like wash my hair, and then the next week I rock the twist again and then I take them out, is that okay? Like, is it okay to wash my hair in the mini twist? And so we started chatting about it, and it was basically she wants me to just see how my hair reacts if I try it, and see if my hair gets really tangly with me washing it in the mini twist, because I wash my hair every 4 to 5 days. That is extremely important for me as a person with sensitive scalp. And I know a lot of people, they do their mini twists and they leave them in for like a week or 2 weeks. But, leaving my hair for 2 weeks without washing it, or even up to the 7-day point, it's not going to work for me as a person with sensitive skin. So I was thinking that maybe I can put in my mini twist and then wash my hair the first 4 to 5 day period, and then rock the mini twist and then take them out before I do the next 4 to 5 day period. I hope that's making sense. But yeah, I was just talking to her about mini twist with the second stylist. Oh, So bad of me. I don't remember her name, but I will see if I can find her name. If I can find her, I'll go ahead and put her name. But I sat down with her, and her wash and go was beautiful. I was like, so what are you using on your wash and go? And I believe we have some pictures together, and I'll put some pictures of us together. I was like, what are you using on your wash and go? Not the specific products. I was like, what types of products? That's important to me, because most of the time people use stuff I can't use it anyway because of my sensitivities and my allergies. But she was like, she uses foam and then a gel. And I'm like, that's what I do, girl. But that's the way my hair is styled for this event or whatever. I typically use foams and gels together. And I know that not all curl artists approve of, using foams and gels together on a wash and go. I was watching Mimi of Untwisted, and I love her content. I was watching Mimi talk about how her stylist said that you shouldn't use foams on a wash and go. But for me, my stylist, she's observed my hair. She knows how often I wash my hair. She thinks it's perfectly fine for me to use foams and gels together on my wash and goes. Because so many factors can impact whether something works for somebody or something doesn't. Factors like weather, the condition of the hair. Weather is a really huge one. Weather is a huge one. But weather, condition of the hair, lifestyle, what types of products somebody's using, all those things really, really, really matter as to why certain products and things like that may work for one group of people and may not work for another group of people. And so there's that. But I was like, I just felt really good because I'm like, that's what I'm doing, girl. When she said she uses foams and gels together to style her hair. Her consult that I got was a Bana, which I'm sure many of you all are familiar with a Bana. I absolutely adore a Bana. She's basically an OG YouTuber, and at the same time she's a curl artist. So I sat down with a Bana, and that was just a really, really amazing chat. We talked about my angle of discussing different topics online. So I more so came to her as somebody on YouTube, and I wanted to pick her brain about how I should discuss certain things moving forward. And she really, really emphasized as a Christian, focusing on building people up and not bringing people down and that sort of thing, which I'm really trying to make sure to implement on my channel. And so it was like soul food, the conversation with Abana. So that was that was good. And so after the consults were over, what did we do next? There was food. There was plenty of delicious food. There were drinks. And so we ate, we had drinks, and there was also a bingo game. So we played bingo, and people went around with their cards, and you would mark if a person has done something that's on the card to their hair. And so you won if you got bingo going two different directions. So I wasn't really as engaged because I was chowing down on some chicken. So I'm sure people that met me in person now know I love to make sure I'm well fed. But yeah, there were questions on there like, does someone currently have a taper cut? Have they ever done henna? When was their, how many years has it been since their last big chop? If it was a certain amount of years. There were questions like that on there. That was a lot of fun to get to know people, to talk to people, to move around the room. And I was taking note of all the different things that we were doing, because I'm like, I'm going to put this in my back pocket just in case I ever want to do something like this. I'm learning. So the bingo was fun. And then after the bingo, we played Jeopardy, like with hair questions and stuff like that. And so that was a lot of fun. My team won, of course. My team won. And people were like, that's not fair. Y'all have a doctor on y'all's team. And we won because honestly, I've spent years researching the stuff that was in the questions. A lot of the stuff that was on the questions. So there was a question like, who are said to be the original developers of wigs? And I'm like, who are ancient Egyptians? I mean, so there was that question, and there were, I believe there was a question. Was there a question about Madam C.J. Walker? I don't know. But then one of the other questions that I got right, and I know it was a shocker, I think I heard one of the stylists over to the side when I answered it. She was like, all right now. It was a question about, what ingredient in foams and mousses can cause buildup and needs a clarifying shampoo oftentimes to remove. And my hand shot up and I was like, water polymers, PVP, VA, I knew that one. And the reason why I know about ingredients is actually because of my issues with my allergic asthma and my scent sensitivity. So because I can't use a lot of the things that are popular, I've had to learn patterns and ingredients and things like that. And also I wanted to learn. I was already learning those things, but I had to get even better and sharpen those skills to read product ingredients and make decisions for myself if this is a possible buy for me, because I didn't just go and buy every fragrance-free option or every hypoallergenic option that I saw. I really had to delve into the ingredients. I would say it's holistic to a degree, my understanding of ingredients, because I have all this personal experience with a range of products, having to navigate not having product. Yeah, not having product as someone that has scent sensitivity and allergic asthma. And, actually that really parallels a lot of the experiences of people early on in the natural hair community. I didn't really, so to a degree, me having scent sensitivity and allergic asthma and having to navigate not having natural hair products and things like that, to a degree, it is a really big blessing, because I have a very deep understanding now of what was happening in the early natural hair community when people were saying they didn't have products. When Shea Moisture was just coming up or wasn't there, or when Carol's Daughter was just coming up or wasn't there or wasn't available for them, or when all these products, weren't available to them. I have a very deep understanding of that because that's what I currently experience. Basically a product drought. And I hope that didn't have too much bite when I said that. But listen, sometimes it feels really, really bad for my hair type to not have the type of fragrance-free product that I want. But I navigate it, and I'm navigating it well, and I'm learning along the way. But yeah, my team won with the hair Jeopardy. And so after we did the hair Jeopardy, we did an intermission, and we had the opportunity to go check out the vendors, and so many amazing vendors were there. Abena was there with Imba Naturals, and Imba Naturals is actually fragrance free, you guys. Imba Naturals is fragrance free. So she has it's a stronghold gel. But check out her channel. She has free tutorials on Imba Naturals, and then on her website she has free tutorials with Imba Naturals. And if you're somebody that's looking for a fragrance free wash and go combo, then you can go ahead and try out Curl Mix. One of Curl Mix's what do you call it? One of their flaxseed gels. You can try that out. And Abena was saying that you could use that as a base with Imba Naturals. So if you're interested, that's a possible option for my people that need fragrance-free stuff. And Curl Mix has a full fragrance-free lineup. If you're interested, I know it's not for everybody. I love a lot of the things that Curl Mix does as a company, but sometimes the products aren't necessarily to my preference. I'll just say it that way. But that doesn't mean that they aren't still good quality products, because they are. But the intermission. So during the intermission, we mingled, we checked out the different vendors, such as Imba Naturals, and we did chat. We chatted about what's happening right now online, where there are people that aren't happy with their curly cuts, and they aren't happy with the things that they've learned from Black Girl Curls. So we did have a conversation about that. So for me, with any of the many resources that I've shared with you all, because I've shared quite a few different hair care resources, with any of the resources that I've shared with you all, if they have not been beneficial to you, then I'm so sorry. Any of the resources that I've shared with you all, I've shared because they've either been beneficial to me or I've seen them be beneficial to other people. And so I'm never trying to share anything with you that's going to be harmful to your hair. And so when people speak up and say, oh, well, this didn't work for me, then I definitely take that into account with how I share my resources moving forward. So there's that. And honestly, when it comes to resources, if you look at my videos recently, you'll see that I put a lot of emphasis on Carmenville, Conway, Abena, Elaine, and so many other people because of that flexibility piece that's really necessary in hydrobar salon. That flexibility piece that's so necessary when you're someone with allergies and sensitivities and things like that. You need a stylist that's going to be flexible with products, flexible with the different type of styling you might choose to do, whether you want to wear a wash and go or a silk press or mini twist or braids or whatever the case may be. You're going to need somebody flexible to work with you. Because, for example, for me, I can't use everything that my curl artist uses. I can't use any of the products my curl artist uses. Now that I think about it. But my curl artist, Tiziana of Just Divine Curls, is a godsend. And she's incredibly flexible and she listens to me. And, she gets where I'm coming from and what I want for an application, for a product application or product use, and what I don't want. And so, when I share the things that I find with her, product-wise, or share the techniques that I've found with her, she's very open as long as I'm not doing something harmful to my hair. That's when she'll tap me on the shoulder and be like, that one might not be the one. But there's that. So we talked about that. Then there was a live demonstration of the Emba Naturals gel. She used I Create Hold as a base and then Emba Naturals on top. And so there was a live demonstration of that styling gel combination. If I could use that styling combination, would I use it? Probably not. Not because the person that they did her hair was still beautiful. Her hair was extremely beautiful. But I just, the moment, something doesn't have a smooth, buttery up application, or I can't. And so that's how I feel about I Create Hold. Maybe it's different. It's been a while since I've tried. It's been some years probably since I've been able to use I Create Hold. But if I put something on my hair and it starts to not feel good, I'm not using it unless it's a clarifying shampoo, because those don't feel good. Or it's something that's needed, like some sort of treatment or something. But if something just does not feel good, I'm not doing it. that's where I stand. And but if whatever you got going on, use what you need to use. If your curl artist is telling you something different, you got to remember I'm on a whole different program with my curl artist, and not just my curl artist, with myself, most importantly. So there's that. And then we did the demo. And then afterwards, we had a panel, and your girl was on a panel. I was on a panel as Dr. Fo, someone that has studied Black women's hair perspectives. I interviewed Black women, and I sat for hours and hours and hours, days and days and days, years, studying Black hair, current Black hair perspectives. And so I was on the panel, and Kim Lewis, founder, CEO of CurlMix, was on the panel. I'm actually an investor, so I was pretty pumped to sit next to her and say, "Hey, I invested, right?" So that was dope. But so founder of CurlMix was on the panel, and then also Jules from Dropping Jules was on the panel, and she provides education to stylists, businesses, people that provide I'm trying to think of what's the word. Service providers that provide like care. I don't want to just say beauty care because I don't want to niche her down, but she provides awesome information to professionals to help them run their business. And she also is a retired stylist, Jewel. So you have the product company owner. You have somebody that studied things from a theoretical perspective, Black people's hair perspective, and you had a salon professional, the professional of the professionals. So it was a really, really nice panel. And so I'm gonna actually put a link to Usone's vlog down below where she captured some of the panel. But there were some really, really important questions about the state of the natural hair community. And so I learned a lot from Kim. She really emphasized not using should language, like people should do this or they should do that with their hair. And she emphasized that for some people, hair is like religion to them, you know, and you have to be very careful because when you talk to people about hair a certain way, it can feel like blasphemy to them. And so I have a very clear understanding of that. But I would say I've outgrown that space. I really have. I had to. The should mentality or, you know, any of that stuff, I didn't have a choice because just every single fragrance-free product, I was just holding on to it for dear life, you know. And I was to the point where I was like, am I gonna have to get in the kitchen and make my own products? I was like, no, I cannot. I am not about to do that type of hard work. I cannot. I already went to school for one thing. I'm not about to become a chemist on the side. But just being at that point of not having, it just made everything so clear to me why people do so many things that they do with their hair. You know, and at the same time, when I spoke on the panel, I also said, because Kim was like, okay, so what do you mean by pro-Black when it comes to hair? What do you mean by being pro-Black? And so to me, a big part, not the entirety, but a big part of being pro-Black is to be accepting of your journey, not invalidate other people's journeys, or make assumptions about other people's journeys, you know, and just really consider your hair, your norm, and your standard. Like, center your hair. Like, this is my norm. What I have to do for my hair, how I have to care for my hair. This is my norm and my standard. And my norm and my standard is not based on some made-up ideas about Black hair is so much harder to care for, or Black hair is not as beautiful, or any of those things. I've filtered those things out with the power of education because I've learned about hair care from so many different sources. And, that brings up another good point. Kim, she actually said, she was like, a good way to determine maybe what's good hair care information is when you look at a bunch of different sources, what's continuous across those different sources. And those nuggets that are continuous might be the hair care knowledge that might be most beneficial to you. And so, you know, just having those things as my foundation, those nuggets from all these different hair care sources, those things have empowered me to not rely on myths about my hair. Jewel, she also shared, you know, how she just couldn't wait to share the good news about hair care with so many different people, and she shared with so many different professionals. And she was really coming from this perspective of being a groundbreaker as a stylist. Being a groundbreaker as a stylist and sharing hair care information that's not rooted in the idea that straighter hair is better, or you're just working to chemically alter the hair, or you're just working to do things to natural hair that may not necessarily have to be done, or do things with Black hair that are based on straight, smooth, silky hair as a standard. And I hope I summarized that really well. So the panel was amazing, enlightening, a breath of fresh air. I cannot wait to go to more events like the panel at the Curl Party. And every time I look at the footage from the Curl Party, I'm like, take me back. I almost want to cry. The Curl Party made me so happy. I'm like, take me back. And I just learned so much about my hair, so much about myself, so much about other curl friends from the experience, and I wouldn't trade the community that I've become a part of. With a lot of us, even with us doing our different styles of hair care, falling under the umbrella of people that are going more on like foundational understandings of hair care as opposed to like hair myths. But that community that I fall into right now, I wouldn't trade it for the world. I wouldn't trade it for the world. And I know that we're gonna have our differences of opinions on how we wanna style our hair, how we wanna cut our hair, what products we wanna use. I know that we're gonna have our differences and opinions, but I cannot beef with people I found community with. I can't. It's just too sweet to me, and it's too validating as a Black woman to just finally find my people and to be able to chat hair and have a good time. Comments. Do you have any questions about the curl party specifically? Do you have any questions about the curl party specifically? Let me know. But signing off now. Love you guys. Dr. Fo. Bye-bye.